Hello and welcome to class 2. Sorry, I didn't realise it had started then. So class 2 of this course of Pilates. So I'm going to get straight into it. All the moves you did last time, but there's one little change and I'll see if we can add a few little extras on there as well. So get yourself into your neutral position straight away. I need to come right back. I've tried to get it so that I don't have to move the camera today. So feet underneath hips, soft into the knee, check your hips are in neutral, tall through the spine and relax those shoulders down and back. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth and just center yourself for a moment. Think about pulling the core in, tightening through that stomach, lift through the pelvic floor, hold it all four too tight and then release so it's just held. Keep it there. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, let the arms float in front and control it down. So relaxing through the shoulders and just feel the breath. One more in front and then take the arms out to the side. So just to shoulder height, soft at the elbow, so you might find the hands actually come just very slightly in front of the body. And feel that difference between those two moves. How still the shoulders are working, but the back and chest feels different. So take the arms in front and then open them out to the side. Breathing out, breathe it in. One more time in front. One more time to the side. Relax it down and a little shoulder roll. Reset yourself, keep soft at the knee, engage through the core and a little twist. Bring it center and twist the other way. So trying to keep the hips nice and still. So the hips are like headlights and they face forwards. And think about your shoulders turning. You might not turn very far. If you've got a tight back, you might find you only move a small distance. One more each way. Bring it back to the center and a little release. So take those legs wider, ready for our squats. Wide as you feel comfortable. Get the back nice and long, engage, and as you breathe in, we bend and sit. Breathe out and lengthen. So the wider you go, the more you can just let your arms hang in front. But we're going to add in those arms in a moment. So your knees and toes in line, remember, stick your hips out back, but concentrate on keeping the spine long. So just a little sideways view. My back stays nice and long. So the shoulders have got that little squeeze behind. So start to let the arms float up in front. The body staying long. Do you find your knees click clunk to the grind? Mine start to make noises after a while. So this time as you lengthen up, let the arms go up. Open out to the side and circle it round. Breathe in and breathe it out. The shadow on the wall that makes it look like I've got several arms. One more time. And release it out, little loosen. So our balance. Last time we just did lifting the foot. Going to add a little on. But first of all, just get balanced. So into your neutral, stand tall with the core, breathe in. And as you breathe out, just try and lift that foot. Replace it and change to the other foot. So feel again how that foot peels off the ground. Gradually placing weight onto one side and then transfer it over. Don't have to lift the foot far. You might just get the toes off the ground. Use again the wall if you need to, not leaning on it, it's just there for support. If you can, you lift and hold, then try and lengthen your leg. Bend and replace. So lift and hold and lengthen. So it's making you have to balance for longer. And you start to take that weight away from the body. Not sure how clear that is. So just a little side view. So you don't have to lift high. If you feel you can, then you can try lifting higher. It depends on your flexibility in your hamstrings to whether you can lengthen at that higher point. So you might find you can get your knee high, but as you start to lengthen, you just can't get it long up high. So you bring it down. Arms, lift and lower. Now you can either lift them in front, or if you find it easier for balance, lift out to the side. Pull that belly button in. Keep yourself breathing. One last time each side. Do what you want with your foot. I'm finding I'm pointing my toes, but you don't have to. Release it and just ease it all out. So hopefully feeling a little bit warmer. What's going on? My watch is beeping and buzzing at me. So bring yourself, if you're on your mat, to one end of the mat, or just with space, because we are going to come. So you're going to lose my head for a moment as I get into a bit more space. Engage through the core, bring yourself up into a good neutral position. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, roll down, chin to chest, and let yourself curl. My head's back in the frame. Let yourself go as far as you need to. Stop when you want. Push down into the feet and roll back up. You lose my head again. Lengthen tall. So imagining the spine is like a slinky. And you take hold of that top ring, which is your head, and you start to curl it forwards. When you start to move one of the rings, it then starts to gradually bring all the rest. And that's what you do. You let the head start to drop, then feel it through the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, working down the spine all the way to the lower back, and then let the hips tilt. Each time as you warm through those muscles and stretch, hopefully you can go just a little lower. Keep the knees soft. Take that tension out of the joints. Maybe pause at the bottom and feel the weight of the upper body hanging down to really get that nice stretch, and then push and roll back up. Use your stomach, pull that belly button in. One more. Hang at the bottom for a second and roll yourself back up. Standing tall at the top. Because I almost forgot, we are going to do one move stood. I'm going to come to my knees to show you this so I can get a bit closer into the camera. So I'm panicking that it's not actually recording, but it is. It's all fine. I'm trying to use modern technology and don't always know it works. So feel free to stand. If you're quite happy to go on your knees, you can come down onto your knees and do this one, just for a different little perspective, because it means you feel the movement through your hips a lot more if you do move, because you can't move as easy. Dumb waiter, elbows by your side, palms are facing up just out in front, don't have to be touching, by your side is fine. Engage, keep the body tall and keep your shoulders relaxed. So last time it was all about getting the thumbs to rotate round, moving through the forearm, creating that semicircle actually. You're thinking about trying to make them meet behind, but they never will. Hold that stomach tight and keep the back nice and long. So we can add on. When you've found that point where you start to really feel it into your shoulders, you can add. I am going to turn sideways for this again, just to show you the add. So you open, you squeeze back, and then let the shoulders move back. So you start to add a squeeze between the shoulder blades. You've got to get the rotation before you add the squeeze. So you're working to the shoulder joint, a rotator cuff, and then you start to work across the upper back. And that's the muscle, a trapezius, And our rhomboids, they're the ones that help to keep the shoulders up, to stop you slouching. Control it in. So you get that extra tightening through the upper back. And this is where, when you're stood, as you try and squeeze more, that you might find you kind of start to push your hips forward and you curve your spine. Hold your belly button tight and get that tightening more into the back, upper back. And see if you can hold on to it as you gently release. 2 more. Last one. Release it forwards and a little loosen. Give yourself a stretch. If you want a bit more, cross your hands and reach. So we're going to bring ourselves down. Roll down to get there if you want. If you're already on your knees, then just bring your hands to the ground. If you're going for the roll down, engage, lengthen, tuck your chin in and start to roll yourself down. Stretching that back nicely after doing those dumbwaiter. Hang at the bottom, bend your knees if you need to get the hands to the ground, and slowly walk it forward into your plank. So the challenge, if you want, get yourself nice and long. Tuck your hips under, lengthen the spine and keep that body weight forwards. Hold for as long or as short as you want. And when you're ready, bring your knees down to the ground and just walk it in a little. You need to release the wrists, do so. The press ups. So into our box shape, engage through the core, holding everything tight. Keep that back nice and long. Remember, we're not there, we're not there. Lengthen it to push those shoulders down. Take your hands wider. Where were you? Do you struggle? Do you want to come closer in? Do you want to come more to there? Did you manage in the box and thought that's okay? In which case, go slightly forward. It's not there though. You got to take your body weight so your bum goes further forward than your knees. Find your start position. We're going to do 10. So you got to count this time. If you get to about 5 and think it is easy, get yourself into a bigger position. If you're here and you've done 5 and it's easy, hands go further forward. Get your body weight further forward. See what you can do. I'm going to start just that little bit further forward. Keep your shoulders back. Engage through the core. Are you ready? Breathe in and start to lower. Breathe in at the bottom. Breathe out and lengthen. That's 1. Keep them slow. That's 3. 4. Holding through with the core so the body stays long and still. It's the movement through the arms. We're halfway. Do you want to make it harder? Or are you starting to struggle? Do you want to go easier? I don't mind if you go easier. Challenge yourself. I'm not sure if that's 9 or if it was 8. But I'm going to do 1 more for luck. And then lengthen and stretch it out. I've not done as many. I could do press ups on my toes over the summer. In the last, no, not the last lockdown, the lockdown before, I think it was. I've got to get back there. Open it, stretch it. You don't have to be there. You can come up if you need to. And then when you're ready, bring yourself and lay down on your front. So we're going to go into our legs. It's the leg kicks. We did single, we did doubles. Feel free to go straight to the double if you want. Get something underneath your head if you want. Bring yourself down. Try and keep your eyes looking to the ground so your forehead is resting on something, whether that's your hands or something else. I'm going to just move that arm out of the way so you can hear me talking better. So breathe in, and as you breathe out, 1 or both legs, and control it away. Do what you want with your feet, remember, and think about those hips. You're pushing down with the glutes,
holding the hips to the ground. Remember I said last time about thinking, do you find as you draw it in that your hips want to lift? In which case you've really got to squeeze into the glutes to hold them down. Or do you feel like they go down quite easily? In which case think about holding through the core to stop them pushing down too much. So if that feels like you're working, stay with that. Do what you want with your feet. You don't have to point them. If you start to get cramp, please relax. Let the feet just relax, or maybe tuck your toes under. Just gently touch them to the ground. You can do single leg and alternate one then the other. Feeling fine, we add a little arm. So if you feel you want to, bring your elbows to the side, but somewhere underneath your chest. Make sure you're not there. Push your shoulders away and pull your belly button in to hold your chest in position. Exactly the same again. Whether you go for single or double. Keep those shoulders pushing away from the ears. Feel that it's the core holding you there. Your hands are just relaxed. And it's down the back of the leg that's working. 2 more if you can. Lengthen, ease, and give it a relax. So by bringing your body up, you start to work into your lower back a little bit more. You're stretching into the front of the hips. So if you're someone who finds it difficult to keep the hips down, you really make them stretch there. You may have found your heels didn't come as close in, but you're helping to stretch as you tighten. Tuck your toes under, push your heels away and give it a good stretch. Hopefully you were squeezing into your bum, so feel free to bring it up and stretch out through the glutes. Also gets a nice stretch into that lower back if you did hold it up. I call that one the Sphinx position. So we're going to lengthen out, laying on your sides. This is where we're going to change the move. Last class we were doing the clam. We're now going to just concentrate on the outer leg and do the side leg lift. So same position with that upper body. You can just let the arm there, use something underneath, move the arm out of the way. You can use your arm and a towel if you want, if that gives extra support. Keep that shoulder down. You may want to just place it in front. Now this is one of the easier moves laying on the side. So lengthen both legs and make sure you feel yourself balancing, but you can have your hand just for a bit of support. Keep the lower leg long. If you really do struggle to balance on your side, you can bend the lower leg, but we keep it long if possible. Top leg, engage, breathe in, and as you breathe out, we lift. Hold, push the toes forward, and then lower as you breathe out. Hold, push the heel back, breathe out. So my legs get close, they touch, but they don't actually relax. The body's staying long and still. And you only go as high as the outer thigh allows. Your hip bone wraps round. It gets smaller as it comes to the front, which allows you to actually take the leg higher, but that's actually going forwards. To the side, it only goes a certain distance, and it depends on how wide your hips are. So that's what we're trying to find, where you feel that squeeze, where you can't get it any higher without the hips wanting to roll. Got your balance? Feel free to bring your arm down the side of the leg. Don't worry if that foot starts going in a different direction. The idea of adding the move of the foot is to allow you to breathe. So you breathe out as you move, you breathe in as you change the foot. And then work at your own pace. How fast do you need to go with your breath. So you can just breathe easily. How's that outer thigh feeling? If it is starting to hurt, stop. Pilates is about getting to a point where you feel the ache, you know you're working. You do one more to challenge yourself, to make sure that you actually make a change, but never to a point where it's painful. If you can manage two more, because I know there's always those few out there that will keep going no matter what. One more. Breathing out. Change the foot and then let it relax. Bring it in front and give it a little ease. Give it a massage. So we're going to roll ourselves onto our backs. The leg you've just been lifting and lowering, give it a stretch that out to 5. That might be enough. Push it a little wider if you need to. If you need it, you can draw it in. I'm actually starting to feel it already there. I don't need to go any further. If you want to grab hold and pull that leg off the floor, do so. So guess what's coming? Can you remember how many times have you done class 1, or did you come straight onto class 2? It's the 100. So last time I made you hold for 2 minutes thereabouts. We're going to go for a little bit longer. Let's aim for 3 minutes. Remember your options. Push the belly button down for your pelvic tilt and hold there. You can go for legs in the air with a pelvic tilt. Notice I haven't rolled back down. I'm holding tight to work the lower half of the abdominals. With the feet on the ground, you can push your belly button down. You will get a little bit of a pelvic tilt, but then you curl your shoulders up. It's the rib cage sliding towards the hips that you're looking for. Arms there help you to use your shoulders, but not your head. I don't want chin into chest. Use a hand for a headrest if you need to. Remember, it's the head resting on the hand, not the hand pulling the head. Feel the rib cage. Whichever you choose, remember again, you're going to have the legs off the ground. With your upper body curled, you can go there as well. But we're going for longer, so maybe you want to go for a slightly lower option. Maybe you want to go for top option, work your way back down as it starts to get too much. Then we breathe. Don't go yet, because I'm going to count it down. You've got your breath, you pulse, use your fingers if you want to count. Feel free to count, so you've got to do both hands, in breath, out breath, and that's count of 1. So 3 minutes is what we're aiming for. Are you ready? I've been held here for quite a while, though I'm kind of holding myself up with my arm. Engage through the core, get yourself into position and start breathing. And that's basically it. Let me remember, what was I on? So just keep going, just hold. Try and relax the arms so you're not sort of, I did used to be taught that, but I find if you can relax your arm and more go for hand or fingers, then you're more likely to relax through the shoulder and the neck. Feel that you are lifting at the rib cage. You feel your rib cage slide in, because that's really going to activate into the stomach muscles. Same if you're going for the lower half. If you've gone for the pelvic tilt, feel that you've rolled your hips, not a lift of the hips, a roll of the hips. So you feel that tilt and those abdominals engage. That's 1 minute gone. I don't know if that's a help or a hindrance, but it's 1 minute gone. If it's really painful, drop down a level. So if you've got the upper body curl and you think, I just really can't hold that any longer, go down, do the pelvic tilt. Pelvic tilt is a little easier, so feel free to go legs in the air and pelvic tilt. You can now relax the hands to the ground if you want. You can keep them up if you prefer. That does add extra tension into the stomach, because although it's the shoulders that are holding the arms up, your stomach also helps, because it's your core and it helps with everything you do. You can relax your shoulders. Keep going. We're almost halfway there. In fact, we're over halfway there. What am I talking about? Keep going, keep going. Are you still breathing? That's the whole idea of doing the hands. Breathe in for 5 counts. Breathe out for 5 counts. I struggle to kind of keep this going with myself talking. Hopefully you find it a little easier where you are. So if you've done there and it's starting to hurt, come back to there. Use a hand as a headrest. Lift and feel it through the rib cage. You might not have lifted as far as I have. You might be only there. As long as you're feeling that crunch into the rib cage, it's there. We're into the final minute. In fact, we're just about at 30 seconds to go if you can. Don't let the breath speed up. Keep it natural. Keep it slow and controlled. Push the belly button down. Are you feeling the lower back pushing into the ground? That's where it needs to be. Flat back to create that curved shape through the back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ease it down. Lengthen it away. How did that feel? Was it easy? Did you get to the end? Did you stop several times and join back in? I don't mind. Build it up each time. Did you start far too high with your legs in the air and think, no, I just couldn't keep it going? Next time, I am going to make it longer. So don't start with the legs in the air, start with them on the floor. Then if you get to that final 30 seconds and think, I can push it, go high then. You've got those two options. Whether you start high and drop down, or if you start low and add it in as you get near the end. Let me remind myself, how can I forget? We just got to go on to the other side. So you can either roll yourself to face the back or twizzle round. Ready for the other side leg. To get yourself long, I'm going to move up a bit more so you get the whole of my legs in. You don't need my head, you need my legs. Get yourself comfy, shoulder, hips engage, lengthen through the body. Use your hand there to start with, just to get your balance. Let the lower leg relax. Switch on, breathe in, and as you breathe out, lift. Change the foot and lower. So don't think about having to lift incredibly high. Just lift a little way first of all. Get the movement. Make sure you don't wobble. You've just been working your stomach really hard. You might find it actually a little harder to balance on this side. So keep your hand there if you need to. It's not pushing onto the hand. It's just there to support. Keeping that shoulder stacked. And if you've got fairly long arms like me, you can just let your elbow relax onto your side. Maybe you can bounce and you want to take the arm down the side. Again, if you've got long arms like me, the hand slides down the leg. So just keep it relaxed. If you've got slightly shorter arms, you might find the hand doesn't get in the way at all. The foot. It's about adding the foot. We allow more muscles within the leg to work. You don't just do a side step. It's not a natural move. It's when you're walking, you may suddenly need to step to the side. So you'll always have that movement through the foot as well. So as we do our side leg lift, to make it what's called a compound move, and to make the whole of the leg muscles work together, we add the foot movement in. Let it flow. How's the outer thigh feeling? I always feel it worse on the second side. I don't know if it's just I can't count on the second side, or whether it's just, it is a weaker side. Are you feeling it there? Are you feeling it more down? I'm actually feeling it down into my calf and at the side of my leg today as well. Final two if you can. Lift and feel that squeeze. Last one coming. Let it come down together. Ease and relax. Bring it in front. Give it a little massage. Loosen it off. Maybe it's there. I don't know why down there's aching. Maybe it's all the walking in the snow I was doing. Ease it out. Then when you're ready, roll yourself onto your back. Cross that leg over and give it a little stretch. So we're done. It's just the relaxation and stretch to go. Yeah, that's really hurting this side. I can't go any further than that on this side. So when you're ready, when you've had a nice stretch to that leg, grab yourself a mat, grab yourself a cover, grab yourself a pillow, whatever you want, get a quick drink, put on some relaxing music if you want to. And got a little person, wants to join in? Yeah. Got a little person joining in. Although for this bit it's only the relaxation, so we don't notice that. So when you're ready, let yourself lay down. Feel free to turn lights out if it's got lights on at the moment, and just bring yourself into a bit of darkness and a bit of calm. You want to lay down and relax for a moment? I sit. I don't know why, I just sit. So breathe. Breathing in through the nose, breathe out through the mouth. So feeling that breath. Feeling the breath travel through the body. And again, concentrate on it being the rib cage that opens and closes. As you breathe out, you push away that ache, that tension from the body. And take that journey through the body, starting with the face. As you breathe out, relax the forehead, the eyes, the cheeks, and the jaw. Relax through the neck, the shoulders. Feel the arms relax, the wrist, the hands and the fingers. As you breathe out, feel the chest drop, the back relax. Allow the stomach to ease, the hips sink. Let your legs just flop, the ankles, the feet and the toes. You allow the body to relax. Allow the mind to relax also. Think of a word that makes you feel relaxed. As you breathe out, fill the mind with that word. Hear it. Maybe even see it. And slowly feel the in-breath. Feel the air flow back into the body, lifting that chest. You may find you yawn. Feel the air flow down the arms into the hands and the feet. And just allow the hands to move, the fingers to wriggle. Maybe a clench of the fist, a spread of those fingers. If you are in a different position, please bring yourself down into laying if you can, laying on your back, lengthening the legs away if you want. And just feel the body long. A circle of the ankles. Just allow those legs to ease. Maybe a point of the toes, tucking the heels under, or push the heels away, the toes towards the ceiling. And slowly allow the knees to bend, the feet come flat to the ground. And allow the arms to float up above the head. Take them up towards the floor, up above the head, onto the floor, and relax them there. If you sat, then you can just take the arms and reach it up high. Let the arms then open out to the side. So out in a bit of a T shape, either relax to the ground, or if you sat, just a little squeeze back, and then let them relax by your side. One ankle then crosses over the other knee. Let that knee open out. We've just done this stretch, but we're going to do it again because it needs it. Use a hand if you want to push that little bit wider, or bring that other foot closer in. And it's that outer thigh stretch we're aiming for. If you feel fine and you're laid down, grab hold of the leg on the ground and pull it in towards you. See, now if you need to look, you can either copy me sat or you can copy Thomas laid down. Ease it to the ground and change to the other leg. So cross it over. Ease that knee out if you need to. Draw it a little closer. Grab hold of the leg on the ground, reaching through the middle of the legs, that's it, and then pull it in. So once you've got into position, try and relax your hips. Relax the legs. It's the hands, or if you sat, the foot as well on the floor that gets the stretch for you. Everything else just eases into it. Slowly ease, release from there. In your own time, bring yourself up to sitting. You can either sit like Thomas or roll yourself onto one side and bring yourself up to sitting. So lengthen your legs out in front. A little wriggle of your bum to walk your hips out back, and you might have already got a stretch down the back of the legs from there. If you can, start to tip yourself further forward to get that stretch. Relax the arms. It's not a reach because that's going to put tension in the shoulders. You want to just relax, ease down into it. If you feel you can, just let your arms start to hang at the side. That then lets the body weight drop further. So we're aiming for the stretch in the back of the legs. You might feel it down the calf. You might feel it into the back. Relax the knees. Breathe. Say that word again if you want to help you. Relax. Gently ease yourself up. So choose a leg and cross it over. If you can, you cross over and put it on top of the toes. If that's really uncomfortable or you just can't do it, keep it crossed. If you can go on top of the toes, you do so. You can either grab hold of that bum cheek and pull it out a bit more, and then reach. Same arm to same leg. Start to pull that foot back if you can. If you can't reach the foot, then just hold on where you can and gently let your body lean. We're still going to get a stretch down the back of that leg, but you might feel it more there. You might feel it more into the hip, more into the back, up into the shoulder. And if you let your chin drop towards your chest, you may also get it into the neck. We've got individual muscles going up our body. We then have one thin muscle that actually acts like a sock that goes over all those muscles. And this stretch just tries to help to stretch that muscle. Ease, and then change to the other side. So just cross it over, pull from there, go on top if you can. Try and draw it back so you start to get the stretch all the way from the base of the foot. Let the body tip. Again, if you need it, grab your bum cheek, pull it out. That helps to get more of a tilt. Let your chin drop. I'd be really clever at this point and tell you what that muscle's called, but I can't remember. I struggle to remember all the names of all the different muscles. I'll try and look it up for next class. Ease and release from there. So bring your hands onto your lower back. Sit tall and squeeze the elbows behind. If you find it difficult to sit, you can take the hands to the ground and squeeze back. Lift through the chest. If you feel you can, up to the ceiling and lengthen into the front of the neck. Release. Bring yourself round onto your knees. Back shoulder width apart with the knees, hands reach in front, and then try and sit your bum back. Doesn't matter if it don't get all the way to the heels, just sit yourself back. Let the head come down between. If it can get to the floor, let it come to the floor. The child pose. Bring yourself up. So you can use your hands for a little bit of support. Big stride forward. Make sure that foot's in front of the knee and then let the knee bend and you get your stretch into your hip. So you can stay on the ground. Make sure you've got a distance between that foot and the knee so you're not on a tight rope. You've got that good distance. And then if you feel you can bring yourself up. Relax into the hip. You've lost my head at the minute. I'll move further back for the next one. Ease it and change to the other leg. There we go, you can see me again now. It's a big long stride. Let the knee, you can balance yourself on the floor if you need to. If your knee is settee or anything like that, feel free to grab hold of that to help you and just sink down. Got just a bit too far away. Again, if you've got your balance, you can bring yourself up. That just helps to move the stretch, not just from down there, but up into the hip as well. Thomas can feel it. He's just been for a bike ride, so he now needs to stretch his legs. Ease it from there and gently bring yourself up to your feet. So I'm going to have to come right into this corner. If you want to just go in front of the wall, Thomas, you might just slightly shorter to be able to get my head in, you see. So we're going to go for our balance to finish. Get yourself back into neutral, hips forward, tall through the body, roll those shoulders back, switch on. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, peel the foot off the ground and see if you can lift the leg. Gradually release and change to the other side. So if you want to, you can just touch the wall if you need that little bit of balance. It's not grabbing onto it, it's just holding it there in case. So don't have to lift high, find that point where you can lift you. Maybe a little open of the arms. And this time we lift, hold, and can you lengthen out? Lower it down. Lift, hold, and can you lengthen, bend, and return. So try and keep the body as still as possible. It's just the leg. Remember, if you can't lengthen it high, then allow the leg to come a little lower. So bend and lift, lengthen, bend and lower. Try and let the body lean back, yeah? Bend and lift, lengthen it out, bend and lower. One more time each side, breathe. And you let this foot come to the ground. Give yourself a little loosen, take your time to finish. Ease it out. Bring the feet flat to the ground, soften the knee, try and keep the hips still and just loosen through the back. Then allow yourself to kind of stick your hips back and bend the knees. Grab hold round in the inside. Let the arms come to the leg. Push the back up into the air and curve the spine. Stretch that lower back. Release, hands to your thighs and roll through the spine.
Take a moment, let the arms go up, reach it high, hold the hips nice and still, look up to the hands if you can, but the hands go further back and stretch the front. Release. Yes. And big shoulder roll, and stand tall, and give yourselves a little round of applause. That's class 2 done. Thank you very much. Hope you feel like you've done something. Did you try the extra little bits? So stick with this class for a couple more times if you want to. If you found it easy, go straight to class 3. It's up to you. Feel free to go back to class 1 at any point. I'll try and get class 3 put on as soon as possible for those that are watching it as I'm uploading. If it's already all there, then just work your way through as you need to. And I'll see you all in class 3.